This is your last chance. Achieve everything without doing anything. Thoth's forbidden technique. In a world where everyone is tirelessly chasing success, wealth, and personal fulfillment through sheer effort, unrelenting struggle, and constant movement, there exists a hidden, almost mystical pathway that very few have dared to explore. A path whispered about in the shadows of ancient texts, a method that promises the ultimate paradox, the ability to achieve everything, to manifest desires beyond imagination, without the labor, the stress, and the endless striving that so many mistakenly believe is necessary. And it is in the writings attributed to the Egyptian deity of wisdom, Thoth, that we find cryptic references to this astonishing technique. A secret that has been guarded for millennia, intentionally concealed from those unprepared to wield its transformative power, because knowledge of it in untrained hands could unravel the very fabric of ordinary reality, offering not just a promise of abundance, but a radical shift in consciousness that defies conventional understanding. To fully grasp the magnitude of what Thoth has hidden, one must first understand the way the universe operates, not in terms of cause and effect as the modern mind clings to, but in terms of resonance, vibration, and the unseen currents of energy that flow through every moment, every thought, and every intention. Currents that respond not to effort, but to alignment. And this is precisely why so many struggle in vain, tirelessly exerting themselves while the secret remains invisible to them. For it is not in the doing, but in the being, not in the struggle, but in the surrender, that the greatest power is unlocked. And Thoth's forbidden technique, which he recorded in the most veiled of papyri and encoded in the symbolic language of the Hermetica, reveals exactly how to position oneself within these currents in such a way that the universe itself begins to act as your instrument, bringing forth your desires as effortlessly as the wind carries a feather across the sky. The first, and perhaps most overlooked principle of this technique, is the understanding that everything you see, touch, and experience in the physical realm is merely a reflection of an underlying, invisible reality. A reality composed of subtle forces and consciousness patterns that respond to intention, thought, and vibration. And when you begin to perceive this not as an abstract theory, but as an experiential truth, the doors of possibility swing open in ways that cannot be forced or hurried. And it is precisely at this point that most seekers fail, because the mind, conditioned by centuries of struggle, cannot fathom that doing nothing can, paradoxically, accomplish everything. Yet this is the genius of Thoth's teaching. Mastery over manifestation comes not through action alone, but through the deliberate alignment of self with the eternal flow, through a profound attunement to the rhythms of the cosmos that govern all growth, all abundance, and all success. Imagine for a moment a state in which your desires, your intentions, and your vision for the future are so harmonized with the universe that action, if it is needed at all, occurs spontaneously, almost as if the world itself conspires to bring your goals into fruition. A state in which effort is transformed into effortless flow, and the resistance that once seemed insurmountable dissolves into nothingness, leaving only the pure, luminous path of manifestation. And this is not mere fantasy. For the ancients, through meticulous observation of natural law and the meticulous recording of their insights, discovered that the key to this state lies in transcending the linear limitations of thought, relinquishing the illusion of control, and embracing a dynamic surrender to the intelligence of the universe itself. An intelligence that Thoth, in his wisdom, describes as the ultimate collaborator, available to all who are willing to release their attachment to struggle. The second element of Thoth's forbidden technique involves the cultivation of what can only be described as an inner stillness so profound that it becomes a magnetic field for reality itself. A stillness that is not merely the absence of noise or distraction, but the creation of a mental and energetic space in which the frequency of your desires can resonate unimpeded. And in this resonance, opportunities, ideas, and solutions appear without effort, without planning, and without conventional striving, as though the universe itself has bent to serve the clarity of your inner intention. A process that modern science may struggle to measure, but one that every mystic, prophet, and sage throughout history has described with reverence. And it is precisely this stillness, this conscious attunement, that allows the practitioner of Thoth's method to bypass the ordinary limitations of time, energy, and resource, achieving outcomes that would normally require decades of relentless effort in what seems to be the blink of an eye. Perhaps the most controversial aspect of this technique, and the reason why it has been so deliberately hidden, is that it challenges every assumption the human mind holds about morality, effort, and merit. For if one can achieve everything without doing anything, the traditional structures of society, which are built on labor, competition, and struggle, are rendered almost irrelevant. And this is why only those who are prepared to handle not only the results, but the profound shifts in perception that accompany them, are ever granted access to this wisdom. Because to wield such power without understanding is to risk disorientation, loss, and confusion on a level that ordinary guidance cannot mitigate. And yet for the one willing to approach with reverence, patience, and disciplined surrender, the rewards are literally beyond measure, touching every aspect of existence from wealth, health, and relationships to creative expression, spiritual awakening, and the deep satisfaction of knowing that you are operating in perfect synchrony with the laws of the cosmos. As you begin to integrate the principles of Thoth's forbidden technique into your life, you will notice subtle shifts at first, as though the world is testing your readiness, presenting small coincidences, unexpected solutions, and serendipitous alignments that confirm your alignment with the flow. And these are not accidents, but deliberate responses from the universe itself, designed to encourage your trust, deepen your faith, and expand your awareness of what is possible when the mind is liberated from the illusion of constant doing. And as this awareness grows, the old patterns of struggle, fear, and forced effort gradually dissolve, replaced by a sense of fluid empowerment, an intuitive grasp of timing, and a clarity of vision that allows you to navigate life with unprecedented ease, confidence, and precision, all while doing less, thinking less, and allowing more. It is essential to understand that the path of Thoth's forbidden technique is not passive in the way most people imagine. It is a dynamic, conscious participation in the natural intelligence of the universe. A dance in which your desires, intentions, and inner state must be perfectly synchronized with the vibrational currents of reality. And when this alignment is achieved, even the smallest gestures, thoughts, or visualizations can catalyze monumental changes, making it possible to accomplish in days what would otherwise take years, and to manifest with a purity and efficiency that is both astonishing and disorienting, because it contradicts every paradigm of effort and achievement taught by conventional culture, proving that true power, real abundance, and ultimate freedom are not the products of relentless doing, but of the disciplined cultivation of being. In the final analysis, the reason Thoth's forbidden technique is considered both revolutionary and perilous is that it invites a radical reconsideration of identity, agency, and the very meaning of action itself. For once you grasp that doing nothing, in the precise context of alignment and resonance, can result in the full manifestation of all your desires, your entire worldview shifts. You begin to see the futility of struggle and the elegance of surrender, and you awaken to a form of mastery that is almost indistinguishable from magic, where the universe itself becomes your collaborator, your partner, and your vehicle for unlimited possibility. And those who have glimpsed even a fraction of this knowledge in the ancient texts report a transformation that is at once subtle and profound, reshaping not only outcomes, but perception, priorities, and the deepest sense of personal power. So consider this not merely a message or an article, but a summons, a clarion call to awaken to a truth that has been hidden in plain sight. A truth that whispers across the ages from the mind of Thoth to yours, urging you to step into a state of consciousness where everything you have ever desired, every goal, every dream, and every aspiration can be realized without the relentless, exhausting effort that the world has conditioned you to accept as inevitable. And understand this: the opportunity to access this level of wisdom is fleeting, rare, and fiercely guarded.
And those who hesitate, postpone, or dismiss it risk remaining trapped in the ceaseless cycle of striving, while those who choose to embrace it, who dare to explore the forbidden teachings with respect, discernment, and unwavering attention, stand at the threshold of a life in which achieving everything is not a distant fantasy, but an immediate, living reality, experienced effortlessly, fully, and as a natural extension of the universe's infinite intelligence.
As you continue to open yourself to the secrets that Thoth, in his infinite wisdom, has left encoded within ancient texts, it becomes increasingly clear that the first step toward mastery is not the accumulation of knowledge in the conventional sense, nor is it the mechanical repetition of rituals or exercises, but rather the cultivation of a profound inner receptivity, a readiness to perceive the subtle energies that underlie reality. For it is in this receptive state that the universe begins to communicate directly, providing insights, opportunities, and synchronicities that would otherwise remain hidden. And it is precisely this interplay between stillness and awareness, surrender and clarity, intention and attunement that constitutes the core of Thoth's forbidden technique, a method that appears deceptively simple on the surface, but in practice demands an extraordinary level of focus, discipline, and subtle understanding. Because the universe responds not to half-hearted attempts or casual curiosity, but to the purity and intensity of your alignment, to the depth of your trust in the unseen intelligence that governs all things, and to your willingness to allow the natural unfolding of events without interference, forcing, or manipulation. The more you practice this art of conscious resonance, the more you begin to notice the patterns that permeate your existence. Patterns that reveal not just the mechanics of manifestation, but the very architecture of reality itself. A lattice of energy, intention, and vibration that underlies every experience, every relationship, and every material outcome. And when you learn to navigate this lattice with precision, your life transforms in ways that defy ordinary explanation, so that doors that were once closed swing open effortlessly. Solutions appear before problems fully materialize, and people, circumstances, and resources align with such precision that it almost seems as though the universe itself has been orchestrating events in your favor all along. And this is not mere chance or luck, but the inevitable result of your attunement to the deeper intelligence of creation, which Thoth describes as both infinitely abundant and exquisitely responsive, capable of delivering not only what you desire, but also what you need to fulfill your highest potential in ways that the limited human mind often struggles to comprehend. Perhaps the most astonishing aspect of this method is the realization that action, while sometimes necessary, is never the primary vehicle of achievement. Rather, it is the state of being, the vibrational resonance you cultivate, and the clarity of your inner vision that sets the stage for effortless manifestation. And in this paradox lies the profound power of the technique. You are simultaneously doing everything and nothing, existing in a space where deliberate non-action is more potent than frantic labor, where patience becomes a strategic advantage, and where the unfolding of life aligns with your intention so seamlessly that the distinction between effort and result begins to dissolve entirely, revealing a new paradigm in which the world itself conspires to bring your desires into form, in perfect timing and in perfect alignment with your own highest good. A reality that challenges every conventional assumption about struggle, scarcity, and the nature of achievement, yet is fully consistent with the timeless teachings of the masters who walked this path before you, and whose wisdom has been encoded in symbols, myths, and allegories to guide those brave enough to seek it.
It is crucial to understand that Thoth's forbidden technique is not a magical shortcut in the way popular culture often misrepresents magic. It is an intricate, living methodology that requires careful cultivation of awareness, attention, and inner alignment. For the universe is not a tool to be exploited, but a responsive intelligence to be harmonized with. And when you learn to move in synchrony with it, you experience a form of power that transcends conventional definitions, a power that allows you to influence outcomes, attract abundance, and access opportunities that would normally remain beyond reach, all without the exhaustion, frustration, or anxiety that accompanies ordinary striving. And yet, with this power comes a profound responsibility, because the alignment you cultivate amplifies not only your intentions, but also your character, your focus, and your capacity for discernment, making it imperative that your use of this technique be guided by wisdom, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to your highest purpose. For to misuse it is to invite chaos, confusion, and imbalance, a lesson the ancients understood deeply and which Thoth encoded carefully in the esoteric texts that remain accessible only to those ready to perceive them. As your practice deepens, the subtleties of the method reveal themselves in ways that are almost imperceptible at first. A thought that once would have gone unnoticed now carries weight. A vision crystallizes with clarity that feels divinely orchestrated, and the very act of observing reality begins to shift the outcomes themselves, demonstrating the astonishing truth that your consciousness is not merely a passenger in the universe, but an active participant in its unfolding. And that by cultivating stillness, resonance, and alignment, you wield a creative influence that is both profound and subtle, capable of transforming not only your circumstances, but the way you perceive, understand, and engage with the world, allowing for a level of freedom, creativity, and fulfillment that those bound by conventional effort and struggle cannot even imagine. A freedom that comes not from external achievement, but from the mastery of inner harmony and the art of being, the very essence of Thoth's forbidden wisdom. In the final stages of mastery, you begin to operate in a state that transcends ordinary time and space, where cause and effect become fluid. Opportunities appear before they are needed, and the manifestation of desires unfolds in a seemingly magical, effortless manner, a state in which the universe, fully attuned to your vibrational frequency, acts as both mirror and collaborator, reflecting your deepest intentions while orchestrating the precise circumstances for their realization. And in this state, the concept of limitation itself begins to dissolve, revealing a reality in which abundance, clarity, success, and fulfillment are not goals to be pursued, but natural consequences of alignment, trust, and conscious resonance. A reality in which doing nothing paradoxically accomplishes everything, and where the hidden currents of existence, once invisible, become the guiding framework for a life of extraordinary possibility, power, and grace.
As you journey further into the enigmatic depths of this ancient knowledge, you begin to realize that the most potent applications of Thoth's forbidden technique are not found in the physical world, but in the subtle, almost invisible layers of existence, where thought, emotion, and consciousness intertwine to create a lattice of the potential that is constantly shaping your reality even before it manifests externally. And it is precisely in this unseen dimension that the true power of effortless achievement resides. A dimension where clarity of intention, purity of focus, and harmony of being become the primary tools of creation. Tools so subtle, yet so profoundly effective, that they can manifest outcomes which, to the ordinary mind, seem miraculous, coincidental, or impossibly fortuitous, yet are in fact the inevitable consequence of alignment with the deeper currents of the cosmos, currents that Thoth himself described as the living arteries of existence, flowing through all things, connecting every thought, action, and moment. And when you learn to attune yourself to their rhythm, you become less a participant in the ordinary, struggling world, and more a conductor of a vast symphony of possibility, orchestrating events, circumstances, and opportunities with a precision that defies conventional explanation, all while appearing to do nothing at all. For the technique is paradoxical in nature, relying not on brute effort, but on the artful cultivation of presence, attunement, and receptivity, qualities that, once mastered, allow you to step into a realm where desire, intention, and reality converge seamlessly.